Hello everyone, it's Monday. I realize that I normally film on Tuesdays, but unfortunately, tomorrow I am going to be on a plane to Florida, so I will not be able to post my normal Tuesday video. So in exchange, I am posting today. I'm sorry, Jensine, that I have invaded your Monday. But this week we have a cool theme. It's inspired by Owl Say Hoot's video entitled High School, where she just kind of lists off really cool memories and random things that pop into her head about high school. So I thought for this week, since all of us are or were in high school, and since a lot of us just graduated, it might be kind of cool to talk about some of the interesting memories we had. So, here I go. The kid next to me tried to have a thumb wrestling match with me at the start of graduation, which was pretty interesting. Over the 4 years, I went on 4 different band trips. 2 to Disney World, 1 to Myrtle Beach, and 1 to Virginia Beach. On my junior year trip to Disney, I got to lead off a parade because I was in the front carrying the banner, and that has to have been one of the coolest experiences of my life. Band had a lot of good memories. I met a very cool person who can speak Klingon, and his parties were some of the coolest parties I've ever attended. Other memories, going to Chinese camp. I did an intensive Chinese course that was very interesting, and we had to do a skit entirely in Chinese. And we lost our teacher in Chinatown in New York, and that's what the skit was based off of. Going to zoo camp, where I fell in love with emus. Flying home from Missouri and getting double searched at the airport for the first time, which was really scary because it was one of my first times flying on my own. Going to NYLC in DC my sophomore year and learning about politics and learning about why it's important to care about what's going on in the world. Going to Obama's inauguration, which was a lot of fun and really cool. When we were standing in the National Mall for the inauguration, we were joking, we'll probably surrounded by snipers, ha ha ha. Then we looked up and whoa. There were 2 on every building, and I actually got a shot where I zoomed in on the sniper, and it was a pretty cool day. Trying to get out of the National Mall after, though, was really scary because I'm not a giant fan of crowds because I get claustrophobic. And we were stuck in a mass of people at one point for probably at least a half an hour, where you were so far packed that you literally couldn't move if you tried. That was kind of scary. But there were 10 of us, and we all held hands, and we made it through the giant mass of people. Joining Pops and Paints my sophomore year. Probably one of the best decisions I've ever made, because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be going into theater. Being an assistant stage manager for the first time and wondering why it was so hard. Trying to spin a house on a stage. Going under the stage for the first time. Going into the rafters for the first time, and having the then current stage manager leave and turn off the lights on me without telling me where the light switch was, so I had to walk across a plank using my cell phone as a light to get down because he didn't tell me where the light switch was. That was fun. Getting to have the most amazing assistant / co-stage manager ever. She was just a blessing. And she put up with me every time I was freaking out, and I would start a sentence with, "I'm sorry, but," followed by some extremely harsh honesty. Still very sorry about that. Steel Magnolias and that entire cast, and for the first time doing theater really feeling like I was a part of the cast and crew and really feeling connected to the people in it. And during that play, when I'd started crying backstage because I was just having a really bad night and I was tired and I felt sick because I had a sinus infection and I just wanted to go home. And I had started to cry, and one of the actresses just came up and she hugged me. And she hugged me through that entire scene until I stopped crying. And it was a little thing, but it was so compassionate. It showed me that somebody cared, that I was working my butt off. And then during The Sound of Music, when I had a couple of people come up to me after a show, and a couple of them hugged me, and other people just told me thank you, and told me that they actually appreciated all the things I'd done and all the hours I'd put in, which was just so amazing. Secretly joining the robotics team for a couple of weeks and going to my first robotics competition and learning how to use a button machine. That was a highlight. I still have all the buttons I got at that competition. It was a really cool experience to kind of see another side of things. Going to my first marching band competition and realizing that marching band is the coolest thing in the world. Learning to play the marimba, which was really hard, and having a really nice mallet instructor who helped me get over my fear. High school was really fun for me, and I think I learned a lot of things. I really benefited from the experience. And I hope that everyone else had as amazing of a time as I did. And of course, there's always taking in Sarah Friday. But I've already told you all that story. Jensine, I'll see you today. And Sam, I'll see you on Wednesday. Have fun, everyone.